Today, we've got a girl group ready for a breakup, an ex-SF entertainment artist showing us why he's a sex symbol, and a bunch of grown men washing themselves after a bad breakup.
It is time for the August 2024 K-pop pop-off, and this month we're joined by Joel Babington of the Right Back At Ya podcast.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
So good. So excited to have you here. We love Right Back At Ya. Last month, of course, we had David on.
Yeah.
So now we have you. We're so excited. So what's your experience with K-pop? Because obviously you have amazing taste in Western pop music.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for having me on, guys. When I got a whiff that David was on, I was like, hang on a minute. Got to get me in there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, my background with K-pop, it was funny when David was on, David went, Joe and I have such different backgrounds with K-pop, and then he listed the Wonder Girls, and I'm like, David. So we do have our own different ways, but for me, it was 4 Minute, and then the Wonder Girls were my ways into K-pop here in London in like early 2010s.
Oh my gosh.
4 Minute I got to see live here in London, which was amazing. In 2012, they did, it was part of the Korean Culture Festival. But Wonder Girls for me, like, absolutely loved them. They were one of my favorite girl bands of all time. And yeah, me and David have been to see Sunmi live a few times, which has been amazing. But then I'll admit I'm a bit basic these days. Like, it is like Blackpink and on the periphery, but I love it, but I'm nowhere near as absorbed in the world as I used to be, which is why this has been such a thrilling deep dive today.
Yay! Love to hear that. You know, once a fan, always a fan.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if you're new to CCTV and our pop-off episodes, every month we put up polls on our Patreon and Twitter at CCTV Pops, and you all get to vote for 3 of K-pop's biggest releases of the month to battle it out in our song, video, and performance rounds. And we also have a Patreon, and our Patreon members get a priority choice. So make sure to join us at patreon.com/CCTVPops. We do also have a free tier. So come on, hang with us, okay? And our producers, Emily, George, Lily, Louie, and Juliet.
Yes, and a reminder, this is meant for pure fun. Please don't take it too seriously. Join in. Let us know what wins for you in each category in the comments. So This month, you voted for KATSEYE's Touch, Taemin, Sexy in the Air, and SF9, Don't Worry, Be Happy. So let's get ready to rumble.
Round 1.
First up in the ring is KATSEYE with Touch. And this was done by Blake Slacken, Omar Fetty, Kashmir Cat, Taka Perry, Coda Banks, Carolyn Island, and that is it. I was expecting more names. But this was released at the end of July, so we didn't include it in our last poll due to our filming schedule being, so full. But this is included now, and it got so many votes, and we're super excited. So let's talk about it. Touch.
The song itself, production, the vocals, the hook. Joel, as our guest, start us off. What do you think of the song?
The song. So I would say, I know we're going to get to a winner, so I won't jump the gun completely. But when I've listened to these 3 songs, at first listen, this was my least favorite. But, boy, is it being a grower on me. It's very Ariana Grande goes K-pop in the sound. It kind of sounds like a dreamy diary entry with a dance beat. And it's very repetitive, but I think the repetitiveness actually works in its favor, and that is what's allowed it to grow for me and go from what's this to what's this,
Oh, valid. That's super valid. For me, I put the same thing in my notes. I was like, the hold that Ariana Grande has on pop vocals is crazy. No offense, y'all, but it's time to figure out a new vocal styling. Only because it could end up being like, okay, well, they sound like her already. Why would I want to listen to this? Unless you already have like an emotional attachment from either the show or the Netflix series. I think the soft, almost whisper spoken style singing is pleasant, and the girls do sound good. Then what ends up happening is that because if you don't really know them that well, their voices can kind of blend just a wee bit. But I think if you listen, you can kind of hear certain tones pretty well. Like Lara stands out because they keep putting her by the pre-hook, which sounds very R&B-esque, which makes sense. The song and the style genre, I mean, it doesn't really do anything for anyone's vocals in terms of like, wow, this is their abilities, this is their identity, which is crazy because it's like they were working so hard to sing their little faces off on the show on YouTube when I was watching it. The lyrics are fine. I think the whole like breaking up with someone and having like a civil conversation about it is very nice. It's good. If I'm not mistaken, these girls are going to be marketed toward a younger demographic. So for this to kind of be like a breakup song where you're like kind of dancing about it is also quite clever as well. But yeah, it's repetitive enough. The melody's good. I think the spoken line parts are catchy because I have a friend of mine who hears the song and she knows those parts pretty well. And I think my biggest gripe with the song is that there's no bridge. You have three of, since people want to lump them in K-pop, even though they're not K-pop, let's make it very clear. Everyone thinks they're K-pop, but you know, K-pop label. You have three vocalists who are actually pretty good. You have Sophia, and you have Lara and Megan. Megan can sing. She has sung in the past. I mean, you have Manon. They all have harmonized on the show, which is crazy. But now it's just like, where's the vocals? The song is short. There's no bridge. The song sounds really
2 minutes.
Yes, it sounds so dreamy, and I think it would have just been sent to absolute heaven had they had like a bridge with at least some harmony, some ooh, some ah, some something. I mean, listen. Those are the girls I think could have given us a wow moment, but there's no wow factor of the song. It's just like, okay, Strafe.
Yeah, you're so right. The way it's laid out, it's like it only gave to me Lara was the only one who had like a standout vocal.
That's right.
Moment. Just from hearing her, it's not that she really got to do anything, but
yeah,
that's the thing, right? They all kind of sound like Ariana with kind of the way they're vocalizing, but then also do all the harmonies and the ad libs that Ariana does too.
Yeah,
like because I agree with you, it just ends. And it's like, oh, even if they just did the chorus one more time, but added a bunch of ad-libs on top of it, that would have just given it just a much nicer climax, I guess.
Yes.
So yeah, I appreciate the production of it. I agree with you. I love how ethereal it is. I like kind of just the light clap beat that it has. Because it is very dreamy and it matches the type of vocal that they're going for. I think watching the visuals and stuff, which we'll get to later, helped me like the song more. But just listening to the song, it's not one I would go to often because it feels like an Ariana demo. Like I'd rather just go listen to Eternal Sunshine, yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, it doesn't really stand out. It feels safe.
Yeah. I mean, Debut at least has some type of punchiness to it. So that one's punchy as heck.
Yeah.
But that's not what's on our list, y'all. You know, so we got to move on to player 2, which is Taemin with Sexy in the Air. And this was done by Ryan June, Genie of Flying Lab, there's 4 E's, 9 June 9, I think it's Dem Joins, The Monarch, Raisala, Sarana, Andre Davison, Sean Davison, and Junso. This is why I thought there was like 50-11 names.
That's a lot of names on this song.
That's why I thought KATSEYE did it, because I was like, had more names. Sorry. But yes. Okay, Joel, what are your thoughts about?
Well, from, for maybe a younger audience to something a bit more rocky, a bit more edgy, I really liked it. Initial gripe, though, not a gripe, more of a question. Title, Sexy in the Air, but the lyric is Sexy is in the air.
Oh, I hear sex is in the air. I think it's for like censorship purposes.
Yeah, I think sex is in the air.
Yeah, he's definitely saying that. But the accent and
Me
then
so innocent.
What? That was so sweet. I thought, okay.
Well, that all makes a lot more sense.
Censorship out there, man. I think so.
But yeah, this is really sensual, a really sort of hard-hitting song that you're like, all right, now we're going.
The word.
Do you have experience with Taemin at all?
With Sex in the
Shiny? Or with that too, but
no, I don't. So I was when I was watching this, and then so is this a little bit more of a step out to what he normally does?
Not at all.
Oh,
not really, but
like thematically, no. Sonically, kind of.
Single wise,
single, yes,
yeah,
single wise.
but we'll need to send you what he's kind of known for after this, because I don't think this fully was the best intro to him.
Yeah. But
I was sold.
I was about to say, I feel like he liked it though.
I love that. I love that.
You like the sexy in the air.
Look, guys, you've done it, because I'm like a girl band stan, and the girlies, you know, like our podcast is a love letter to the girlies. If we've just done 100 episodes, I would say like less than 1% of that is any male focus, and if that is, it's a mixed gendered group.
Right.
So you've really like a solo artist and a boy band we're gonna get to that. I'm like,
oh yes, I love that.
You know, like. The males, I'm 33 now. The males are finally going to get a look in on my Spotify.
The males are finally going to get a look in.
We can help you out with Shiny and its members. They're a great intro to the boy bands, I think. Yeah,
I think so too. Yes. Oh, well, for me, I thought the same thing. I'm hearing something, but the title is something else. I think it's a censorship thing for sure. They dodged that bullet, you know.
Smart.
He is definitely saying X in the air. The guitar in the beginning was so fun. I wish we could have gotten like a little like really just grimy freaking pedal type of guitar solo, like someone really stepping on the pedal and giving us their best riff. I'm not angry at what happened toward the end. I think the spoken breakdown before the bridge is a great transition before that drill and R&B inspired moment. I thought that was interesting because you are expecting it to go in the rock direction. And if it would have went there, it would have been, oh my God, wow, give it to me. I love this, pour some sugar on me moments. But then the whole drill situation wasn't bad either because like he doesn't typically lean toward hip hop. He's more like alternative R&B, very avant-garde with the visuals. This one was like, give me grime, give me, oh yeah, I'm sexy. And then there's like a weird chop and screwed voice at the end that's talking about having X. And I was like, ooh, my goodness, this scandalous. The lyrics are not, I want to say they're not about being sexy, but they're not really. They're a little bit more about the overall feeling and the atmosphere that Taemin as an artist creates. The song is definitely in his wheelhouse, but I will say as a fan, it does fall a little bit short of being outstanding. It's just like, okay, yeah, ooh, yeah. And then I'm like, all right, hang on. I need something else from you. And then you can do more. So that's how I felt a little bit.
The standard for Taemin solo is very high. And I think, so this one's interesting because this is his first solo release outside of SM Entertainment, which is one of the biggest K-pop labels. And so he, I assume, has a lot more creative control now. So I find it interesting that he went with this because I just think melodically, this isn't my favorite. Like the first time that chorus came around, I thought it was more of like a pre-chorus.
Oh, yeah.
And then it kind of just goes to like the slight kind of dance breakdown moment and then it kind of ends there. So I was a little disappointed by it. I just don't think the chorus is that catchy. But I think he sounds amazing. His voice is just so nice. It's breathy. There's a nice mix to it.
Yeah.
And it's great juxtaposition to kind of the hard beat and just how metallic kind of the whole thing is. So yeah, I think I like the idea of the song more than the actual song. Yeah.
Valid,
but I love him. Like he's still one of my favorite K-pop artists for sure.
No, super valid. Hopefully, I think at this point, if whoever's watching us, if you're new here, criticism is not hate. So hopefully people won't go, lose their mind. But yes, that being said, we have one last player, and that is SF9 with Don't Worry, Be Happy. There's hair in my eye. Holy crap, hang on. Fight for my life.
It's okay.
Fight for my life, oh my God. Okay. Don't Worry, Be Happy was done by Han Sung-ho, Park So-suk, Jung Jin-wook, Lee Tae-hyun, Jacob Aaron of The Hub, Soo-yoon, and Youngmin and Hui-young of SF9. We have a lot more Korean names on this track than we did in the previous ones, which is interesting, I will say. But not the usual suspects. David Kim. David Kim is someone that works frequently with SF9 and Joel. I will just kind of preface, their whole concept. They're very angsty. They're very much like hot boys who sings about break up, but they make it like sexy. So what are your thoughts about Don't Worry?
So this is different for them.
This is very different. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. This is different. What do you think about it?
So what's different about it? They're now, cute boys that are singing about forgetting a breakup?
basically.
Yeah.
No, this was really. I mean, look, if we took song 1 and song 2 and put them in a blender, this is maybe where you'd kind of end up.
Yeah.
But that's only a good thing. Obviously, we'll talk about the music video and everything in a bit, but musically, just the song itself, maybe even lyrics to one side, it's a bit just like musical serotonin. It's just really, to me, it was really happy, really upbeat. It kind of had a bit of like a classic soul and funk feel to it into this wonderful world of K-pop. And, you know, don't worry, be happy. Like, especially when like listening to it on the way to work, strutting in with the first two, and then I'm a bit more relaxed, sunshine and rainbows by the time I get to track 3.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's valid. That makes sense. This song reminds you of like older like boy group songs. Like if you like this one, you probably would like a lot more boy groups. So you start like digging in the past. And you're like, oh wait, hang on, this one's nice and sunny and bright too. K-pop has gotten very noisy, and I think this is something that does stand out a bit in terms of boy groups in general right now, which is good. But then again, they're older, right? I forget how old the group is now, but like, yeah, they've been out for a while. And they've gone from 9 members to maybe 7.
Yeah, it's a bit of a question mark. A couple of them are in the military. One of them left the label, but is technically part of the group, but then was shunned from this release.
Oh my gosh.
Stop it.
Lots of drama here.
A mess. And honestly, I think they probably need that member. That member is Suho. He has a deeper voice. Everyone in this group right now has a very light, airy voice. The boys do Broken Hearted very well, but instead of being angsty and sad and regretful, they want the ex to be happy, even though they're like, dang, I messed that up, you know? So I appreciate it, because I was like, if I get one more boo-hoo song from y'all, I'm going to enjoy it, because it's probably going to come with a very sensual dance. But give me more. I mean, they sound good as a group. They've never been like terrible singers, I will say that. I think it's just a tonal like discrepancy, like if you do like this person's tone or not. Lee Young has more lines. There's a rapper who doesn't usually sing, and he's singing-ish, which I'm very proud of him for. There is no Taewon, who kind of has a very high nasally sound. You have Zuho for the deeper voice moments. I will say overall, though, it doesn't sound like SF9, and I think it's because David Kim isn't there. It just sounds very much like Boy Group A could do this. Boy Group B could do this. And I think it's missing something that makes me go, ooh, this is what they can do. Like overall, the song is definitely very satisfactory, though. I can listen to it when I'm going to work, when I'm doing emails, and not feel like I'm getting distracted. So kudos to them. But I just feel like something was missing, just a wee bit.
Yeah, I think what was missing is, I think Zuho actually is a big thing that's missing, because his raps are, sometimes we question how musical they are and how but then he's always unique, I guess, at least with what he does. And actually the other two rappers tend to write kind of more unique verses for themselves as well, which they did not do for this song. So I agree with you in that it sounds a little more, I guess, slightly generic. But I think they sound really good in this. I like how relaxed the vocal production is, and the belts are all quite warm, and it's not too much of a push there. But yeah, super catchy. I like all the horn moments, some great backing vocals. I enjoy this for them. It's refreshing to hear them do something just a bit more fun.
And see them smile.
Yeah. So I'm happy with this release, and I'm glad they're still releasing, even though there's all this stuff going on with the other members.
Stuff.
Like,
yeah. Okay, so we have reached the final contestant. What is everyone's choice for the winner of this round? The song, production, lyrics, vocals. What is all that? What does that mean to you? Who's your winner? Joel. Sorry about that, I said Joel. That was very Latino.
You can call me Joel. It's absolutely fine.
I've turned you into a Dominican, man. Joel. Sorry, Joel. Go ahead.
When I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
My first year of school is reception here, so it'd be like grade 1 or whatever for you guys. The teacher called me Joel.
Oh.
And this is my first time with any kind of authority outside of my parents. So I was like, cool. So then I'd go home and they'd go, Joel. And I go, oh no, it's Joel.
Love that.
I mean, that was a teaser of things to come over the years, I'm sure. But this is a really tough choice for winner.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna. This might contradict everything I've said,
Oh.
but I'm gonna go with KATSEYE Touch.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I'm second, aren't I? God dang it. It's a little difficult for me as well. But I think I'm going to give it to. Damn. I'm going to give it to KATSEYE. I'm going to give it to them. Yeah, they won for me. Oh, SF9 was right there.
Yeah, I will give it to SF9. For the song itself, I'll do SF9.
Yeah.
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 If KATSEYE had a final chorus with ad-libs, that would have taken it.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was so hard. Oh, no, I don't like this anymore.
Well, we're moving on to round 2, which is all about the music video.
Round 2.
So going back to KATSEYE Touch, for this round, Chantel, you can start us off. What do you think of their video?
Okay, so now I can kind of get in there now. All right, so I'm so sorry, SF9, I'm so sorry. Okay, so I like that they kept up a dreamy concept to match the overall atmosphere the song creates. Because the video is very surreal. It's like, what's going on? You see someone crawling down a tunnel. You're like, why is she crawling down the tunnel? Apparently, she's crawling toward the charm. She's a seashell charm, I think, if I'm not mistaken. No, an anchor. She's the anchor because she keeps them grounded. So they all have charms, by the way, this group and their concept.
Oh.
But I think it's kind of, yeah, it's very...
I'm
it's
glad
very,
you did this research because I didn't. Okay, continue.
You know, it's what I do, yeah. It's what I do. So I think that was cute. There's little moments where you get to kind of know who the girls are in terms of like their place in the group, like with their personalities. I think there's a lot of dream sequences, like Daniela putting on some weird fluffy thing on her head, throwing sunglasses, breaking Lara's cat, her tear flies, and Yoonchae catches it. So it's a lot of just strangeness going on, and it's a little bit of like subtle humor. I will say the concept in general of like Yoonchae not being in the video, but being in the video is not my favorite. Like, it's not a huge deal, it's also just awkward. I love the blue and red dance scenes. I like the way the girls are styled. And it's been interesting because I've been watching people watch them. That sounds so strange. I've been watching the comments after people have been watching them, and they have some issues with some of the girls wearing really short shorts. Like, oh my God, where are their safety shorts? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm telling you something here. This is America, okay? Yeah, they ain't no safety. This ain't no safety short. We're not doing safety shorts. And they look great in their outfits. I feel like the way the girls are styled are definitely to their personality. And I love when the girl group is cohesive and not just like, let's put on random clothes to fit our personality. Like, okay, I get that, but like at least try to match. And I think the most interesting thing about the video are the SM, like old school SM sound effects throughout. It's a little bit distracting at points. Things are breaking. You're like, what's that sound? Like, if you ever wanted to rip the song off YouTube, you couldn't because it's literally riddled with like Foley effects.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I think the video is cute. It's quote unquote age appropriate. It's not to like break it with the boys, just kind of like girls being girls and just dancing and singing. And I can appreciate that. Like, they don't need to really step into any storytelling right now to do deep of a storytelling. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
I appreciate the video.
Yeah, I agree. I think all the stuff with the Yoonchae being missing, and kind of, I guess there is kind of a lore that they're trying to start that will kind of continue through the next music videos, I guess. I did go down a slight Reddit hole about it all, and I guess there is like an Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan type lore that they're trying to establish here. I don't think it's necessary. Personally, I think I like all the individual scenes. I remember a lot of them. Like, I think they did a really good job kind of making them all very different. And I can remember the members because of that. And so I think just for kind of a new girl group, that's a great way to establish things. I think the chemistry was good. The on-camera training is really good. They're all very strong on camera already. So yeah, I think it's fun. I don't think it has like a ton of replay value. But for, a brand new girl group, I thought it did what it needed to.
Yeah, I thought the visuals, like looks and locations, were really nice. A really good mix of vintage and current. just in terms of aesthetic and what was going on. I loved just the different moments. Like maybe what you were finding annoying, I really liked. Like the moment where one girl pulled away her tear and the other one caught it into the routine. I was like,
cute.
That is an absolute flex. Like I just love moments like that. I also loved the visual of the different TVs. I just think aesthetically, I'm like, yeah, sign me up. And when the girl had the CD cover of herself over the face,
love
I'm like,
Lara.
that would be me. Absolutely.
I loved that too, yeah.
And then the ending of their final position and then onto the T-shirt, very clever.
Yeah, the video has a lot of good transitions. I think the sound effects were just like, huh? When I was listening, I was watching, I was like, what?
Don't watch it in surround sound.
That's hysterical. All right, KATSEYE. Not bad. Now on to Taemin with Sexy in the Air. All right. So this one's interesting because like Taemin doesn't have the backing of SM's budget. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, is that saying much though? I would say for this, I don't think it was about being really big and showy and flashy. I mean, they're literally underground and Lord knows where. I feel like it's not in Korea. Maybe it is, but I haven't seen a basement scene in so long. It was so grungy and dirty looking. I was like, ooh, interesting. It has like the grungy atmosphere. It is very typical Taemin imagery. I think what makes it different is like the confidence is high. Like he's not acting as if he's like in love, like he wasn't guilty. He's not acting super romantic. He's just kind of performing to the camera, and the dance scenes that seem to be the focus of it, even though they have a performance video, like, okay, great, but like the other video is literally just him dancing his butt off with great camera angles, so I don't really care about the difference. But yeah, the dance scenes are dynamic and energetic, and I think my favorite scene is probably the scaffolding, because there's so much to see, so many textures around him. They're dancing, they're doing the little bow and arrow move, it's just really dramatic to see. And even when he's just standing there, there is there's a presence that is there, and you're like, wow, who is this guy? I like that. I like to see him hitting more hip hop choreography as opposed to like all the lyrical throwing and flingings and stuff. The water, like it's a pop video. Where is my water? And there it was. So I was like, amazing. Get wet for me, baby. So I mean, it was very sexy, but not in the way. It was like him usually in the suits with no shirt underneath. It was like confidence is sexy. My strength is sexy. Me being without SM is very sexy. Like that's what he's giving in the video. So I appreciate that. I don't think it was like huge, big budget, but it was still true to him. And it was consistent with what he usually does. So I'm satisfied. I'm very satisfied.
Yeah, I think this makes a great statement, actually, visually for him coming out. Like, he doesn't need the big budget. He doesn't need all those crazy kind of stories that are in some of his other videos.
Yeah.
He can kind of just perform his ass off and look amazing because he's just so charismatic. He's one of the strongest dancers in the world right now, I would say, like as a pop star. And there's great cinematography here as well. I think all the coloring was really nice. And yeah, the warehouse party and kind of the idea of him kind of going, I mean, the whole idea of just like edging up to a climax with the water, like that's a little on the nose, but sure. So yeah, I think he did a great job visually. I think it elevates the song. I think watching him perform it and just dance to it is definitely more interesting than just listening to it. So yeah, I think it did the job. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like my first note is just powerful.
Oh.
And maybe it's because I've gone in cold. So to me, it didn't appear lower budget or that he's missing extravagancies. That he's missing extravagancies. Don't know if that's a word.
It is now.
But
it is now.
I am from Britain, and British pop is like, even when back in the day in the late 90s and the 2000s, when we even had budget in pop music, it was still... we'd have lavish and flashy and fun videos, but it was still nothing compared to what America and the rest of the world's doing. So maybe it feels in a little bit of context is like, that's where he's at. So I'm still all in. It seems like maybe there was less budget, but they knew how to make every cent of that work.
Yeah.
And same for me, the scaffolding location with the choreo, chef's kiss. I felt like we got so many different flavors in here. We got late 90s, we got Dream Y2K music video, and then like 2007 feeling with the bit more hip-hoppy style.
Yeah.
The box at the end where he's dancing in it was absolutely incredible. It was kind of Jamiroquai meet
Yeah.
Loreen at Eurovision, and
Yes.
then Nick Cheryl Cole's fight for this love jacket.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yes.
I just loved it all. I was really, really impressed by the performance. Like, this is such a showman. And there's nothing better than, not to get into the choreo, but it's part of the video, when someone has a swarm of dancers, but they're holding their own and they're so powerful. It's like they're leading it. They're not lost in it. So I was pretty blown away, to be honest.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, I think you have the next artist you'll be doing a deep dive on. He's a fun one. If you like this one, you'll enjoy the others for sure.
Like, this was cute, but he gets cuter. Like, it gets like, this is like, okay, nice job. But like, honey, the videos, the energy, I think you'll definitely enjoy it.
So what I'm getting from this is, like, he's told you that X is in the air, but maybe it was a bit more actual foreplay. And then I've had the sort of foreplay to warm me up, whereas you guys have all the extra. So this is like a great entryway for me.
Yes. That's perfect.
Very on brand. Very on brand. Okay. Lastly, we have SF9 with Don't Worry, Be Happy, and their visuals. And, I'm not going to lie to you. Now, as I mentioned before, these men do Brokenhearted really well, but they do Brokenhearted handsome, like models, right? They're all like tall, they're all really handsome. So they've only worn like suits and button-ups and pants, and they've done casual, but it's been dark casual. It wasn't like layered up and designer clothes. They were never those guys. And when I tell you, I was a little like, interesting. Seeing them dressed so casually was a little strange. And not for the sake of like, oh, wow, they shouldn't wear normal clothes, because obviously they're not idols all of the time. But it was just the way they were styled as well. Like, Insung, there's a member named Insung. He's the one that usually sings the chorus. Like, he has a very good voice. I love his voice. Very talented man. But the way he was styled bothered me. Like, he has the mushroom hair, which is making him look very kind of stiff-ish. And then a brown jersey and then a lace top underneath it, and then pants that are like jorts, and then Timbs. Now, that would look nice, but he doesn't. He looks stuffy inside of a casual outfit. I'm like, there's something about it wasn't laid back enough for me. I'm like, put his hair out of his face. There's just little things like that kind of help me connect and disconnect. Just, you know what I'm saying? It's like too busy trying to make them look cute as opposed to make them look like casual, like I know it sounds so weird, sounds so strange and very nitpicky, but it does matter in terms of like the overall atmosphere that you're trying to create. You're trying to make them seem like they don't care, and they're kind of, laid back, carefree, and there is a sense of designer, overstyled, but make them look handsome still. And I was just like, it's not fun. It just looks very like almost too put together. But it is what it is. It's K-pop, I just wish they would got his hair off of his face. Telling me look good with his hair pushed back. That's it, So the eye candy was great though. I love some abs. Love that. You'll never be upset about that at all. I love that one of the members, Chani, was throwing couple rings into the washer. I thought that was kind of cute. Like, the relationship is over. Wash yourself of the sins in the past. Done. I think the methods of getting over the breakup weren't that great. Like washing the car, washing the clothes, and eating. Like, maybe it's one of those like refresh your life, refresh your wife situations. I don't know. I just made that up. I don't know. But I think I appreciate the concept of like step 1, step 2. Here's a couple methods, and then leaning into it. I just feel like they could have been stronger methods maybe, instead of washing a car, because I feel like that doesn't really serve. I mean, as a I don't really want to say wet men. I mean, if you guys are like playing like game or like a sport or something like like what they did with Scream, their
you
music
like
video.
Taemin wet?
That's different.
Is it?
He wasn't dancing with the car. It was just him and all his X in the air, They deserved a little bit more in terms of put togetherness, I guess. I just feel like it was kind of like, here's a concept. What do you think? And I'm like, dang, because certain scenes just didn't make sense to me, And then them dancing indoors when they should be outside in a natural setting. I feel like that's what's kind of turning me off a little bit. It's a too much in a box on a set as opposed to actually being outside and living life like the song is expressing. That's my disconnect there. It just felt a little too like, like Sims.
Yeah, filmed in Barbie's dream house sort of thing.
Thank
It
you.
did-
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. So it did kind of feel like it was one of those situations where they rented a space and it was like, so this space already has a car wash set up and it already has a restaurant set up. And so you can, do whatever you want with these. And they were like, okay, let's just use what they already have.
Yes.
And they're like, okay, let's come up with this concept with breakups. And so it was definitely a stretch. Like some of the breakup steps it was a bit of a stretch.
that's
Not
my
the most creative way.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
I liked the scenes where they were just having fun.
Yeah,
I actually
fun.
liked them just kind of jumping around, or even when they're just like out in front of that billboard and they're just kind of like having fun with each other. I
Yeah.
enjoyed those moments. Because they're kind of an older group, they definitely do have that effortlessness. Like if you compare it to KATSEYE, where every single wink, every single smirk is so planned and rehearsed.
Yeah.
This didn't feel as much that way. Like it felt just more relaxed and they were kind of just having fun with it. So I did enjoy it. It's also just weird as a fan to have seen them as such a small group as well.
My God,
So,
yeah.
but they pulled it off. But not my favorite.
Yeah. So what do you think? You're the brand new one. You're a little green
Yeah.
to them. So what are your thoughts? Don't let us taint you.
So I really liked it. I think I misunderstood the assignment. I think I
No, you didn't.
No, you haven't heard this yet. I think I overthought the video. I thought they were like wiping their memories.
Oh,
So
no,
I thought
it's
they were
K-pop.
drinking this coffee.
Yeah.
The thing in opening shot, step one, like drink this coffee and you'll forget this girl. Put your rings in the washing machine and once it's washed, you will forget this girl completely.
It's K-pop. It could be.
Like, I love to like
That works.
when
Yeah.
I'm watching stuff, I like to fill in the blanks. I like to create my own subplots. So, I liked it. I was going to say loved it. I liked it a lot. It very much did feel like, we've got this location and we'll make it work. They got the call sheet. What locations do you want to rent? Tick, 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 tick. We'll just take it all today. But I liked it. Really nice seeing them sort of come together again. Like it is for this as well. Like it is a bit like a blending of the two because like. You have a bit of like the hard and the softness of the two routines and they come together so well with it. But what I will say in Pop Full Stop, I love a laundrette visual. A laundrette in a music video. I don't know why, but it is so good.
It does it for you.
It does it. It does it.
Respect. I mean, it's a K-pop video, so it could definitely go a lot deeper than what we.
Yeah, your theory makes sense actually. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome with all that. Come stay in here. All right. So all that being said, though, who is your champion? Oh, I'm first. All right. So for me, this is difficult because there's so many different. They're all different videos, right?
Yeah.
It's also very different. For me, I'm going to say that I like Taemin's video the most. I'm plain and simple. Like, I mean, KATSEYE's video is fun. It's adorable. The effects are fantastic. The transitions are amazing. But I think in terms of like just what I felt when I watched it, I think I'm going to lean more toward Taemin this time. Yeah.
I will also give it to Taemin. It's kind of tough to not want to watch him, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind just putting on a repeat a couple times,
I'm in tears.
And I don't feel that way about the other two. So yeah.
That's reasonable. Okay.
And it's 3 votes for Taemin. Sexy in the Air. Like, I can't stop thinking about this music video. So
Yeah. The little Attack on Titan veins that were in the beginning, I love those. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was like, oh my God, if you're going to do something, like, this is rumbling. All right. Here we are at the final round, and this encompasses the dancing, performance, choreography, just a whole presentation of the live experience.
Round 3.
Yes, KATSEYE.
Yes.
Okay. So first off, shout out to Sohei and
It is
Gabe
Sohei.
who choreographed this. I've actually taken Sohei's class quite a few times, and he's so good.
Nice.
I've seen him also dance with Brittany as well, and he was awesome as well. So yeah, I love that he was working on this group.
I didn't. Okay.
I think this
Cool.
choreo is awesome. Like even from that starting position, which must be so annoying for them to get into with all the stacking heads, and the ending position, right, as well.
Oh my God, yes.
That must be so annoying to get into, but already that's like so memorable.
Yes.
And there's just so many great moments in here through the verses, through the chorus. It's all just amazing. This is great pop choreography.
Yeah.
And it matches them well also. You know, it's feminine. It feels young. It is cute, but not too cute. There's still like a sassiness to it. There's an attitude to it. So yeah, I do think the chorus for sure, like, I mean, you already see so many people learning it and stuff. Yeah. And the getting in the line and doing the tapping is pretty brilliant. I think that's probably my favorite of the moves.
Yeah.
I will say from watching the few performances that they did, so they did do it on like Good Morning America. I think they performed at KCON as well.
Yeah.
They are lip syncing, which makes sense because this choreo, I mean, yeah, it's just, this choreo is crazy. And they are executing at 100%. Those hips are hitting so hard. Like the arms are so sharp. So I do wish, like, as a more Western or a more global group, that they would have prioritized the live singing a little bit more, I guess. And this choreo doesn't really allow for that. But, you know, it's a TikTok age and they wanted to do something that was memorable and that people would want to learn. So I appreciate it for that. And it is addicting, I would say. Yeah. How about you, Joel?
Yeah, the Good Morning America thing is interesting because from here, whenever British pop stars either cracked or tried to crack America, the consensus was you always have to sing live on American TV. You know, our TV shows aren't what they were back in the day, aren't really made for it. Our morning television, and then when we had Top of the Pops, it's a TV studio. It's just got to sound good. So there's a lot of lip syncing. That was the nature, but you'd always have the bands going, you know, when you go to America, you have to show up and you have to sing live everywhere. And so I just always remember watching the girlies doing GMA performances and hearing live vocals. I was a little bit disappointed about that. But yeah, as you say, it's not like they're not putting 11 out of 10 into it. And yeah, and they're so new and all of that. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I think they're at an amazing starting point. Like, to be kicking off here is incredible. I don't feel like they are quite there yet, but that's what happens with our groups. You know, it takes a beat, it takes a minute, you got to feel it out. I saw a world of difference though between, you know, Good Morning America. It didn't feel like they were like owning it as such to me.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot of elements that could be in that. You know, it is a TV studio. They're rushed. Maybe they didn't like get to block it properly. Maybe they didn't have loads of rehearsal time on that stage. But then when you look at their rehearsal video and then the KCON performance, absolutely incredible. One where that's their own setup, and then the other one that's an actual music venue, and it is just electrifying. I think what is maybe not a shame, but we can see how much more they have to give, is that when they did perform debut, the choreography does hit so much harder. So you're like, oh, okay, they aren't just sort of this twee girl band. I think where they aren't, you know, where it is more of a Western group or a global group under a K-pop label, there's a chance that it could feel novelty with some of the choreo. And it is incredible, but it's like how you're saying maybe that touch moment feels like they're having so much more of their own take on it, whereas some of the rest of the moves could feel very just a bit novelty, or a bit like, oh, this is what we think K-pop should be. But they are all amazing dancers and the choreo is great, but it was just seeing the other performance, let me see how much more there is for them to give, and I look forward to seeing something where they hit it a little harder.
Valid. That's super valid. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Megan, one of their other dancers were missing, so they did have to adjust quite a bit. Like, it was KCON, and then like either a week later, I don't know the timeline, but it was like, oh, okay, Megan's sick, and then they went on Good Morning America. So you're definitely right.
Well, there you go.
You peeped it. Yeah, you definitely peeped it. And that's also interesting that you notice it. I mean, they are a newer group, but they've been together for a little while now. And for them to kind of show a little less confidence as performers because they're missing one person does say a lot. Like, they are new, I get that, But if you can see it and you're like, I don't even know what the dynamics were, but something seemed like it was off. It like you said, it's a potential thing for sure. They do perform really well. And I think the touching, every form of touching that you could think of, they did, which I appreciate. I'm so glad you confirmed it that it was Sohei, because I was like, I wonder if it was him. Because they said on the show and Netflix that they were really happy that he and Gabe were on the team, because they won't do anything too sexy and it won't be anything too hard hitting. And Joel, just kind of go what you were saying about like their dynamism as a dance group. They're like kind of like tomboy, like pretty tomboys, and Debut has that pretty tomboy kind of in your face, slapping, punchiness. I like that the moves aren't too commercial, but I think it's what you said again. It might be a little like K-poppy-ish as well. The choreography isn't super intricate, I would say, but it's like it doesn't stop, and I think that is what annoys me a little bit, only because vocals are important here in the West, and you have to sing. You have to, no matter what, you have to sing. And even if they are singing on Good Morning America, they're doing those whisper vocals where they're like kind of just right underneath the backing track. So it kind of creates an issue. I will say one part of the choreography that kind of annoys me is when the second verse comes around and it's Lara, Sophia, and Manon, and they're skipping. Let them walk, because they have to actually sing. They're sitting there, we were always holding hands and Tuesday. Let them walk over. And that walk could kind of allow them to give the sass, to give the personality that you're choreographing into this routine. You know, I mean, everyone, here I am in my mama's basement and everyone has their jobs. I get it. But I just feel like for certain moments, let the girls walk. It's okay you do it in the pre-hug, thanks. I get it. You get a little cannon here, but like in cute little pictures of the moon. But let them walk. But aside from that, I love the touching of the thumbs to the pinkies. I love the touching of the head. I love the pointing of the touching. Like, I don't know what else they could have done to indicate we're touching. And I love it. They've just explored all the touches. So kudos to them for that.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So when they were on Good Morning America with a member less, did they just let the track play? They didn't have someone else's vocals?
Daniela sung, I'm going to say sung very loosely, sung the second verse for her. But
but the first verse, they'd left it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, because I watched it and I didn't really understand. Yeah, I thought there was something like that, but I was like, but come on, you have the track ready. Even if you're going to lip sync, you have the other vocals on there ready to go. Come on. Especially in this world, if people could have done that 20 years ago, it's easier to do now.
Oof. Come on now. Come on now.
Oof.
Come on. Hello. All right. So up next is Taemin with Sexy in the Air.
Yes. Oh, Taemin. He's so good. Even though I don't love this song, watching him perform is just so good. First off, I do have to shout out the song Horizon, which he also was promoting on the shows, because he was dancing with some of Beyonce's like dancers.
Yes. Joel, he had Ashley, like her dance captain, for the people who don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, which is amazing.
I was like, why are they not also in Sexy in the Air? Like, that was such a missed opportunity.
Yes.
But I think based on the music video, though, there is a second music video for Horizon that was kind of teased at the end. So hopefully they're in that one. But anyway, we're not talking about that song, but I had to shout that out. I think the choreography is great for this, because you mentioned earlier, Taemin's actually more known for his like contemporary kind of slinky, like he's like very smooth with a lot of his choreography and just how his body moves. So having him do just a lot more powerful hip hop grooves and stuff, that is actually like a more different for him in terms of the lead singles, at least. And his execution is just so good.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier also, Joel, like in this army of dancers, I mean, he does start it off by himself, but then as they kind of all join in, I'm still mostly just watching him, honestly.
Yeah.
And so that takes, real star power there. And yeah, I think the overall just ride of the choreography is good. It does take you on a roller coaster of energy. Like there are moments where kind of people are just kind of slowly just kind of milking down and he's just kind of standing there. You get a lot of time to breathe actually throughout it, and then that makes the kind of crazier choreography moments hit even harder. So yeah, I think it was really well done.
Yeah, I thought he was just absolutely incredible. So, and it was really great that you could watch. With the two performances I saw, was one where it was just him and his band, And it wasn't choreography, it was just, you know, feeling it out and movement.
Yeah.
And still absolutely blew me away. Like, so much charisma and yeah, just that it factor. And then to then do it with the live performance with the dancers and the choreo was just so wow. And it's to be able to do both of those for the same song as well is absolutely incredible. And I thought the choreo in the live performances, even though if it is, I'm sure it's the same as the music video, when you have just get to watch it in a performance setting, it felt very bringing 80s choreo into modern times. Like, it didn't look dated, but just a lot of it felt very bringing 80s roots into 2024. I forgot what year we were in then.
Sorry. It's hysterical. Okay, so I feel like there is not like a strong like point dance, but there is a repeated like that bow and arrow. So that 80s thing that you're talking about, that is super like 80s hip hop. So you're not wrong. You're definitely seeing it. If I'm not mistaken, Casper, choreographer in Korea, made this dance. So I mean, he has danced with like Shiny. He's danced with who else? Can't think of it right now. But a lot of SM artists basically, and other artists as well. And he did advice for Taemin as well, and that's a lot more like hip hop as well, as intricate as hell. And I do appreciate, like you said, all that musicality, and that's what's really important. It goes back to what I was saying about cats. Like, sometimes it's just like, let them walk. They don't have to skip. Let them. You have to do all those crazy hands at the beginning of the song. Like, it's let let the movements breathe. It looks great visually, of course, but let the movements breathe. And I think for this one, I really liked all of the textures for sure. And yeah, with the Be Live, that the performance that you're mentioning, I think all those years of his, like, just being his decades of experience essentially right now has aided in him almost coming across as effortless. Sure, he probably was freaking nervous, but you know, he's by himself performing live. It's a brand new song, but he knows how to perform. He knows how to make you believe that you also want a can of X in the air, because you want to spray it all in your house. And that's what the whole idea of performing is supposed to be. Like, sell it in the video, sell it in the performance. And I agree with you. Everything just sounded so good. He sounds good. It sucks that he's like lip syncing on the live shows, but I can let it go because he actually performs well. You know, it's kind of like this weird thing. And then when he does have to sing, the mic is on. So I do appreciate that, though, having those two to compare for sure. He is freaking mint. That's yeah. I just no point dance. So I think that's kind of what I was looking for. But after a while, I was like, you know what? Screw it. Everyone's giving it to me. Everyone's dancing their butts off. I want to be a background dancer at this point. You know?
Oh God. It looks so hard. I would not want to do that.
You know, okay, I'd go for the auditions just to see him and get kicked out. I'm fine with that. You know, like.
Oh God. Yeah. SF9 though, I mean, this choreo was much easier. So if they needed a background dancer for this, I would do this.
You're not.
Yeah. SF9, super, super clean choreography. I like how smooth it all kind of was. There's a lot of movement going on in it, but then they also stick a lot of poses and make a lot of pictures and stuff while kind of constantly changing positions and stuff. So I think it was just really well done in terms of just the blocking of it. There are also a few moments where they can add a little bit of individuality. Like, again, kind of going back to what I said about the video, just slightly looser moments for them, I think is good, and just allows them to just kind of have a bit of fun with it. Like, for example, I think Chani's solo that he did during the bridge was great. I thought he killed that very, very clean. And they did sing live on a few of the performances that I watched, and they sounded great. Like, Taeyong, his voice is so good, super, super smooth. He definitely has the X factor as well. In song was doing all those ad-libs, and he went for this crazy high note. He hit it every time. Really, really strong as well. And yeah, I think there are some memorable moments in here. Like, there's a moment like in the post-chorus where their hands are like going up and down like really, really fast. And there's just like fun little grooves and stuff like that they're doing together. So I think it worked. It matched the song. I thought it did the job. Yeah.
Yes.
How about you, Joel?
Yeah. I just thought they're just gorgeous to watch, aren't they? And it all just flowed together so wonderfully. And like, you can just tell like me not even really knowing them, you can tell that they've been, even if there has been these member changes and everything, they're a unit, and it's so in sync. And yeah, it just, when something's just really good, there isn't a lot to say sometimes. It was just like, would love to watch it, could watch it all day, just keep on going. And I think it's interesting for like, this is where KATSEYE will get to. Like, KATSEYE, you know, when it's that thing of like, performing, they were really good, but there's that thing you can't you can't explain, and then you watch in this, and like, this is what it is. It's just, and even though it's a very different song, different routine, just that pure togetherness as a band, that absolute flow, that with both the last song and this, it's when it looks effortless, that's when we know it's like the hardest.
Go off. Joel, love it. Oh, that's what it is. I think it's just the experience as well. I think this group has been around since like 2013, 2014.
I think they're 8 or 9 years, right?
Yeah. So they've been in it. I just want to say, the stylists figured out what the F to do when they got to the stage. I'm gonna listen. I'm telling you, it totally matters because they look comfortable. It doesn't look like stuffy. I mean, it might be designer, but it doesn't look stuffy. It doesn't look like I didn't want to wear this. I'm wearing several layers of an outfit and then dancing in it. I'm hot as hell. It doesn't look like that. And it shows like you're getting smiles. They're dancing in like glasses at some points. Like they're winking at the camera. Like there's a cute little hand signal in the, like there's cute little sign languages that they're really like leaning into. It doesn't feel corny. And that's the difference between them being filmed on camera, trying to look happy and effortless, and then actually being on stage and looking happy and effortless. And I was like, okay, I'm back in. I was like one of the sharks on Shark Tank. I'm out when I saw that video because I was like, I don't know if it's going to connect, but I'm back in. I got some stake in the game, you know? I like that there is a moment where I think one of the rappers jumps over the group. You know, not too old to jump or bend over, guys. Let's get it. The choreography is really smooth, and it's so nice to see these men and just dancing and waving their bodies, but nothing too sexual. It's just really nice because they look really handsome because it looks genuine. I like the body rocking. I like the whole idea of them not doing anything too crazy. Like at this point, the simplicity of it all is just, it is what it is. Like there's nothing else to really like, nothing like super stands out. Like, oh my God, like, wow, he did this crazy moment and this happened and that and that. Okay. It's not about that. Each time someone came out, I could see them. I could hear him. I could be like, oh, wow, I know that member, or like, who's that member? And like enjoy it. So yeah, I think this one, everyone feels the most real. Like Taemin is really hot, really smexy. All that's like, I get that. But like in terms of like a normal human being, like I can actually touch and shake a hand. SF9 has it for sure in terms of like approachability for sure. Yes. So yeah, kudos to them. And the stylist for getting it right.
Okay, so that ends round 3. So it's okay. It's so hard. This one's definitely hard. I think I will give it to Taemin though. Because again, I always kind of go back to what I want to watch again, right? Or like what do I want to always see perform? And I would say it is Taemin in this case.
Ooh, no.
Yeah.
No.
I would say this one is potentially the hardest out of all of them, of each category. Like this one's the closest. But yeah, definitely Taemin for me as well.
Damn, y'all. Okay, so for the sake of effectiveness, like wow, memorable, point dance, KATSEYE got it. And for the sake of realness, SF9's got it. But for the sake of, I remember this bow and arrow movement, and I felt really like wow, Taemin's got it. So Taemin wins this round for me as well. The KATSEYE was right there.
Okay. Well, overall thoughts. Overall winner. Joel, how was your experience with these 3 artists and what wins for you?
My experience was brilliant. I had a lovely time with all 3 acts. And I'm definitely going to be tapped in to all of them going forward. And I'm going to go back. I'm really excited to see where KATSEYE go, and I think if we were chatting about them in a year or 2 years, they could have easily won each round and be the overall winners, so that's really exciting. But yeah, the overall winner for me is Taemin, Sex in the Air. Like, I just have the song in repeat in my head, and I even have like the visuals going around in my head.
Yeah.
So that's going to be stuck in there, and that says a lot.
That's valid. Super valid. Super valid. I guess I'm next. Dang it. Okay, I am. I was trying to avoid it. So overall winner is definitely Taemin. I think I put KATSEYE with twice. No, once. I picked them once. I think I like them a lot. I do. I think visually they're beautiful. Vocally, they're great. The song doesn't really display that, but I think out of all three, for me, the song is the most like in my head, like outstandingly in my head.
Yeah.
SF9, I mean, I'm a fan of them. I definitely am. I just feel like this song just wasn't them. I feel like the concept, yeah, it could be them, but there was a little bit of a disconnect in, like I said, the styling. It's just, it didn't feel like they were thinking about the guys as who they are as people. It was more about like, let's just fit like an image. So I think Taemin gets he knows he is as an artist. He knows who he is as a person. And he's stuck with that. The song isn't like outstanding Taemin, but it's also not like, why would you come back with this? So overall, I think he understood, and the group as a creative team understood what they were trying to do, and they accomplished their goals very effectively. So for me, Taemin got it.
Yeah, I will agree with both of you. I have to give it to Taemin in this case. Also, again, I think this is actually one of his worst lead singles, actually. But the presentation as a whole, the fact that this is kind of a fresh start for him as a solo artist, kind of everything put together, I think it does still make a bigger impact than the other two for me. Even if I wouldn't listen to this song over maybe some of his other singles as much. I think with KATSEYE, like I'm in the middle of watching the Netflix documentary. We will be doing an episode discussing KATSEYE in depth, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
So I am now more connected to these members, and I'm excited as well to see where they go. But this song just doesn't really do anything to turn me into a huge fan or anything at the moment. And with SF9, yeah, I think I'm just happy that they're still releasing stuff after kind of all this turmoil going on.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But I do think they operate better in their larger group. And just, I think what does make them more unique is the rappers, actually, and kind of that they kind of each have their own groove going on. So without that this song's fine, but it's just not really, again, anything like super groundbreaking. So yeah, I will give it to Taemin, but I do like all three of these artists.
Yeah, these songs were like really like not bad. This is not a bad episode. It wasn't like, oh yeah, let's just pick the winner now. Like just call it a day. Like it was
this one was tough. This one was tough.
It was tough. So good job, fandoms. Was it Fantasy, Icons, and Taemints? Very good job this round.
Is it Taemints? That's his fandom name?
I don't know. I don't think he has one.
I was like, oh, Shawl.
Yeah, Showls. But personal fans, I think they're called Taemin.
He did just release his own light stick, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
It's a big step.
Oh my God. I love this for him. He should have got one.
Oh, man. Yes.
Anyway.
Well, that concludes this pop-off. Thank you so much, Joel, for joining us. Honestly, I will be sending you Taemin music videos because I want you to experience him and Shiny as well.
Yeah.
But yes, hope you had so much fun. Please plug yourself. Where can everyone follow you? And right back at you.
So thank you so much for having me, guys. This has been so much fun. You can follow me at Dr._JoelB, and you can follow Right Back at Chat at Right Back Pod on all social platforms. Just search Right Back at You wherever you listen to podcasts. We celebrate a different artist in the 2000s every episode. Our tagline is, we have fun taking pop music seriously. So there is no irony. There's no such thing as a guilty pleasure. We just celebrate and spread the good word about pop music.
Yes. Oh, how fun.
Yes, and congratulations on your 100th episode as well.
Yeah.
I love that little
Your
award show. Very excited.
The award show.
Very excited. And yes, we did vote.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, that'll be coming out very soon. It was the Sophie's Choice of Pop. So, it was hard enough for us to curate it.
Yeah.
So I didn't even vote. I couldn't. We
God.
whittled it down. I couldn't even vote.
First page took me out. I left and I came back. I was like, I need to eat. I need to eat first. Hey, I'll let me eat. But yes, congrats.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, y'all. We, CCTV, are also, of course, available on all platforms. And make sure you comment and DM us at CCTV Pops to tell us what wins the pop-up for you. And you can also join us on Patreon and subscribe and follow us because we have some really fun episodes and more guests coming on the show. And also, we're doing a reaction to NMIXX, Hyodin, Card, and Flo, a girl group named Flo. And also, if you come to our Patreon, you'll see me react to the girl group that I almost joined. Dun, dun, dun. You guys are missing out. And we have a free tier. Okay, come through. All right, come through. Until next time, that's Chris.
That's Chantel, and that's Joel.
And we're signing off from CCTV, the Nonstop Pop Show.